Hey there, Facebook. Welcome to the Twin Cities Real Estate Show. Today, we are going to be talking about the pros and cons of working with real estate teams and the different types of teams. We're also going to talk about, the individual agents out there as well and the services that they can provide and some of the benefits you may find with that as well. But since I have a team that I participate in, and Joe is the same way, that we figured we would talk about teams a little bit.
Good thing to talk about.
Makes sense, yeah.
All right, so make sure you stick around for the after show, where we might dive into some additional stuff. But let's get started. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2. Are you thinking about buying or selling a house, or just want to know what might be going on with one of your biggest investments? Then come hang out with us for a little while. Hi, I'm Kirk Duckwell, and welcome to the Twin Cities Real Estate Show, sponsored by Bricks Real Estate Network Title, Eric Bloomstrad and Chad Preby with Bell Bank Mortgage, and James Tolston with Country Financial. If you have any questions for us, you can give us a call, 651-303-0019. Again, 651-303-0019. Always happy to help answer any of your real estate questions or assist with your real estate needs. Make sure you check us out online as well at brickstwincities.com for the latest and greatest home searching and researching tools. We just did a big upgrade to our site, so even more info and better search options there. You can also download our publications. We talk about this, quite a bit. Well, and they're great. They are great books to get you ready, whether it is your first time buying or second time buying. These books were put together by agents who've done this, cumulatively thousands of times. There's a difference between buying 4 homes versus buying thousands of homes and assisting in that process. There's a lot of nuances that you pick up on that will benefit you as a buyer, and the same is true as for sellers. So we have the smart buyer book, the smart seller book.
Isn't there another one coming out sometime soon?
One of these days. I have 3 in the works, and I'm just jumping around. I have the smart investor, the smart homeowner.
I love the smart homeowner.
Yep, and then the smart agent. So, yeah, I'll get to them.
Deal.
I think, I hope to finish up Smart Agent and Smart Homeowner this year.
That'd be good.
Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah.
Okay, well, let's dive into the topic today, which is the pros and cons of working with a real estate team. Now, the team model is something that has been around for a very long time, but it tended to be, just a couple of agents that might work together. Right, or an agent that has a showing agent and a preferred lender and a preferred title company, and they work closely together, and that's kind of their team.
Right. Teams have really been a big thing that we've seen just so much more of in the real estate community.
Yeah, it has maybe 5-fold, if not more, since I've gotten in these teams. What's interesting is that some of the biggest ones have had some real tough couple of years here. The last couple of years, depending on how it's run.
Right.
What would cause some of the troubles, you think? I mean, you get too big where you don't have that.
Well, I think that's it. I mean, let's dive into some of those cons, right? That I think it is growing so fast with the goal of money,
right,
and not service.
Yeah, I mean, it's not. It's the lack of personal connection can definitely be an issue.
Right.
Yeah, and then when you go that route, I mean, Chad, you've even mentioned to me numerous times agents that that have been parts of these teams that get frustrated with them, either cutting them short on pay or knowledge, or just not giving them the tools that they need to be successful.
Yeah. Excuse me. But yeah, you do see it. I've seen it where they start these power teams.
Yep.
And you hire half a dozen of not so experienced agents. You know, they're trying to start their career, but they jump into a team environment that has no training or very limited training. And these are people out showing you houses, trying to give you advice on something they don't really know a lot about,
Right.
which ultimately makes your experience horrible,
Yeah.
right? And then all of a sudden you're looking at 30, 40 homes, possibly not finding the right one for you because
Losing
you're
out on
just,
all of them because you're not
Yeah.
writing a good offer. Yeah, yeah.
you know, and that again, that's the money-driven team,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
I mean, I think you know me, and I love analogies. If you listen to the show, you know that.
Right.
But I mean, think about it. With any company, any business, that you get that, you know, if you take retail, for example, you know, you get that super huge place, you're not going to get the best of service.
Right.
You know,
Right.
maybe they're gimmicky, you know, but they're not providing you quality,
Right.
right?
Yep.
And you know, then you look at your mid-size retail, and you know, a little better. They're taking a little more time, a little more pride.
Right.
But then you go to the little place, and maybe you get the best of service in the world, you know, but they're not always open. You know, the limited hours,
Right.
or
Mom and pop
or
type
or
shop.
or you know, they might not have what you want. So you know, the same is true as you pick the people that you're going to work with one of the biggest transactions you're going to make.
Yeah.
That a little size can be beneficial.
Yeah. I mean, you know, most agents out there do have an aspect of a team, whether they are an individual agent or not.
Yeah.
They've got a title company that they work with. They've got, you know, a preferred lender that they work with. That can be considered a small team as well.
Yeah.
It's really what people are looking for, how that agent is presenting themselves with it, that essentially we are all a team in one aspect or another.
Yeah,
Right.
and well, and most, what I would say, good individual agents have somebody they can go to assist
Right.
with showings
Right.
if they're out of town.
Yes.
But I will say I've run into a good handful of agents that don't.
Yeah. Yeah. it's
You know,
true.
I'll get a phone call. Hey,
Can you show my client this property?
well, honestly, I'd respect that more.
Yeah.
If I got a call from the agent, can you show the property?
Right.
No, what I don't like is I can't reach my agent. He's out of town on
Yeah.
vacation. Can you show me this house?
That's tough.
That's
And then, like,
embarrassing.
they didn't give you a phone number or anything.
That's just not good representation, basically.
No.
Right.
Yeah.
So, you know, another problem with these big teams is just not knowing who you're working with, right? You see the billboards or the signs, and you think you're going to be working with that person. You're probably never going to meet them,
Right.
Right.
right?
Gosh, I had a transaction where, you know, on the loan origination side, I called in for a status update, and I actually got in touch with a call center. So this particular agent or team had a call center to field their calls, and me in the business, I was confused.
Yeah.
You know, because I've got transferred around 3 or 4 times before I got my answer. So I can't imagine being a consumer on that end, calling into a call center.
I would want my point of contact, one person that I know I can call that is going to answer the question for me. Whether the team is then going to figure it out for you,
Right.
but having that one individual point of contact, it seems like it's very, very important.
Very.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it going to the analogy again, you know, if you bring your car into the shop, you meet with that person or the sales, or not sales, service professional who's your point of contact.
Right.
Right.
They're telling you about everything that's going on, when it's going to be done, how, you know, how long it's going to, or how much it's going to cost, you know, what's been done so far, right?
Right.
You don't need to meet the mechanic necessarily, right?
Very
There's
true.
a lot of moving parts. But you've got to have that. You can't be just throwing around. You got to know that the job's getting done and getting done right.
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 Right?
You mentioned a good thing, Joe, is the different structures, right? It doesn't have to be necessarily all agents. It
Totally.
could be your title company as part of your team, or your loan officer, or
Your home
transaction
stager,
coordinator.
transaction
You know,
coordinators,
but
all
at-
of that.
But at least you're communicating those expectations to your client.
Yeah.
That you may not always talk to me, but so and so, my transaction coordinator, is just as knowledgeable and be able
Right.
to help.
Well,
you.
and honestly, like, you know, Joe, you have a bigger team than I do, right? You know, more agents. But so, you know, I have a one full-time, one part-time agent, and then a full-time transaction coordinator, and then myself, right? But I know, like, even when I didn't have the couple of other agents that I could have somebody could call Chad and,
Right.
and ask maybe some of the questions,
Yeah,
right?
definitely.
And vice versa.
Yeah.
If they had a question and I was on the phone with them, I could answer some of the questions that they might have had for
Right.
you as well. And so I think, having those assets available, an agent that has that in place
Yeah,
is
it's
going to
important.
benefit the consumer.
Right.
That's the bottom line.
It is.
Right.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, getting that better service, basically.
Right.
Right. To know you have somebody that you can go to when you need to, because real estate isn't Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. It's
Sometimes I wish it was, but
commercial real estate. That's what
Totally.
people keep telling me.
Those guys don't answer their phones.
So, yeah, and we're going to get into some of the positives, the big time benefits. But yeah, I think that it kind of recap here that you want to make sure that you're not working with a group that's so big that they aren't providing that personal service, that it's just, kind of gimmicky, trying to catch you in, call center, getting passed off from one to the other, not knowledgeable people. Those are really the cons of a team in a sense.
Right.
We're going to take a quick commercial break, and then we'll be right back. All right, ready?
Ready.
Okay. Here we go. You're listening to the Twin Cities Real Estate Show on AM 950. Today we've been talking about the pros and cons of working with a real estate team, maybe versus just an individual agent. And don't get me wrong, by no means are we knocking individual agents, because they can provide some of the best service in a sense.
Seriously.
Absolutely.
And there are lots of great ones. And
Some of the best agents I know are individual agents.
yeah,
sometimes.
I would say some of the best. It's almost that micro team
Yeah, I mean,
look to it.
seems that a lot of the really great agents have now decided to build their own team. you know?
Yeah, maybe it's small. Maybe it's just
Totally.
one other agent that's also a veteran agent.
I mean, you grow to
or
a certain point and you need help.
yeah.
It just really is. Like,
Yeah.
I couldn't do what I do today without my team.
Well, and there's personal
Couldn't
sanity
happen.
too.
Exactly.
Right. You actually have
I
a
would lose
life
my
outside of
mind.
real estate, right?
Yeah, I would lose my mind and my wife. Yeah.
Well, and I think I think you look at somebody like Dawn, who I use for my transaction coordination, 20 years in the business, knowing the contracts back and forth, right?
Yes.
I don't have that amount of knowledge, in those in that, right?
Totally.
Right. So why not hire somebody that does?
That's what it's all
Right.
about.
But where I have the knowledge is in the negotiation, the
Right.
field,
Yep.
right?
Right.
In a sense, the marketing, right?
Here-
So
Good analogy for you, Kirk. It's like going to the dentist. When you go to the dentist, you walk in the door. The dentist isn't the one that receives you at the door
Right.
and fills out your paperwork or takes your x-rays. The dentist does the dentist work. They have assistants. They have help to
Right.
get you to the point of where you need to be, basically.
yeah,
Well, I
to
like that.
then to
That was a really
I
good
like that. That's a very good, very good analogy there.
Well, too, I mean, in this market today, you guys, I mean, it's so fast moving, and if you have so many things going on, you might lose out on that service aspect, right?
Right.
Not that
Well-
not that you want to, but you have to, because you can't handle everything at one time.
Well, and I hate to be a dream killer in a sense, but no, your agent isn't just working with you, right? If that was the case, they probably don't have much experience,
Right.
Right? They
Right.
don't make much money,
No.
right? And you want your agent to be making money. You want them because if they're making money, that means they're out there.
They're closing properties. They're successful.
They're successful. They
Exactly.
know what they're doing,
Right.
right? Yeah. If
They've learned how to win.
right,
No.
exactly. There and it's you I might as well just end the show with your dentist analogy there.
Isn't that nice? Well, you got to figure if every transaction's easy, right? And if you don't have to look for advice, I do all the time, and I've been doing this a long time. But if you're and I have a business partner that I go to for advice all the time because things are ultimately always changing.
Right.
But
Right.
if you're a sole agent or loan officer or whatever, and you're not doing a ton of transactions, you're missing out on those changes or different ways to angle or
Well, and that's a huge benefit of a team is the collaboration of it and
Yes.
getting other people's viewpoints. And it's one of the things that I love about real estate is every single transaction is different.
Right.
There's always something different that happens in it, and you learn from every single one of those experiences.
Exactly.
And one of my other agents maybe has experienced something that I haven't, and it's great to be able to bounce ideas off of them. They bounce ideas off of us. The collaboration is absolutely amazing.
that's what keeps us coming back. I mean, I
Totally.
think that's part of our personality, right?
Yeah.
Is, if we sat there behind a computer every day and did the same thing, we
I
probably
get
wouldn't
I
be
would go
doing
nuts.
this.
Yeah, I
Right.
would definitely go nuts.
No, yeah. So the changes is what makes it fun,
Mm-hmm.
right? To how are we going to handle this situation? How are
Right.
we going to work through that?
Yeah, we're always better as a team than an individual. I know I am better as a team than an individual.
Oh, absolutely,
My
100%.
team
on that
lifts
train.
me up to do the things that I can do, basically.
Well, I mean, in a sense, the individual agents we have at Bricks, it's almost like we're just one big team in a sense because of
that
I get
is-
people that reach out to me and I reach out to them all the time. Hey,
That is the reason that I am at Bricks, is the team environment that is here with all the agents. It is a mass amount of collaboration that takes place.
Right.
And it's something that, we've had newer agents or agents come in from other brokerages and experience it, and they're just like, this is unbelievable. It doesn't happen at other brokerages. People are very holding everything they know tight to their chest, not wanting to give away any of their secrets. We share with each other.
Right.
It is unbelievable. It is every individual agent at Bricks is essentially on a team in that sense.
Yeah.
They get.
I almost feel like I have
all of
two
us.
teams. I have
Totally.
my house geeks, and then I have my
100%.
Bricks. You know?
Yeah.
That's a good point, though. I mean, we at the company I work for, Bell Mortgage, we say happy employees, happy customers. Because if you're happy going to work and you enjoy working with your clients, I mean, that's just a direct reflection on you and the
Yes.
service you pass on.
100%.
But a lot of that has to do with that big word called trust,
Yep.
right? Once you build that team, you all trust each other and rely on each other for situations like if you go out of town, let's say, and you have a busy month going,
Right.
and you're in a situation where you can't answer your phone.
Yeah. Having
You
people
trust
that
your
you trust,
team, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Well, I know I was
I'm
just
the
out of
same way, John.
town. I was just out of town a couple of weeks ago and needed a little help on some showings, get people in the door because that's what we need to do
How
for
dare
our
you have a life outside
Oh
of
my
real
goodness.
estate?
what?
caught some nice fish. But, I was able to reach out and get help from, 3 other agents
Yep.
here, and they made it happen. And I think that's something that, it's a good thing at Bricks, and it's a good thing, again, going back to the positive of having a team, somebody that can cover if you happen to be out of town, right?
Out of town or just working with other clients.
Yeah.
The way things are happening right now, especially with COVID and not allowing
Overlap.
overlapping
Oh my
showings,
goodness.
It's, you need the moment that property gets listed, whether it's active or coming soon, you need to be booking your showing. Because if it is a very desirable property, there is not going to be any showing periods, any showing gaps left for you to even see the home.
Right,
Yeah.
right. That goes back, I think it's good for agents to set expectations too, letting their clients know if you see a house that you like, say you want to see it
Jump
right
on it.
away,
Yeah, let me
right?
know
Because
right away.
because you might not get the opportunity to get in.
Yes.
And so, another thing where I see a big advantage to teams is the ability to provide additional marketing at a faster pace than an individual agent might be able to pull it off.
Yes.
That you're going to have some agents that have a little extra time on their hands and they want to go do an open house. They want to get out and go door knocking in your neighborhood to
Drop
try
those
to
flyers, yeah.
get the flyers, get the information out, because you hear all the people complain about the nosy neighbors. Well, guess what? The nosy neighbors are the ones who spread the word,
Totally.
right? They
a good point.
back when I got my license, oh my goodness, the amount of homes that I found out it was somehow related to a neighbor telling a coworker or a neighbor telling a relative or something like that about the property led to the sale. It's important. So getting the agents out there doing those open houses. And yeah, you can do open houses these days if the property's still on the market.
Right, yeah. That's something else too that I have, experienced, and a lot more recently too with having a team is, connecting clients with the right agent. Personality types with personality types.
Oh, 100%.
I am not the right agent for everybody for what my personality is.
Right.
But somebody on my team may be.
Right.
And I can, help to a little bit more individualize that service by putting them with the right person.
Right.
That's huge.
Yep. Yeah, some people, the variety of personalities
Totally.
you meet.
We've got a good variety. We've got some unique folks.
That's important because not everybody's the same.
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, they may look at your picture on your website and say, oh, I like that person. But when they talk to you, they're like, well, he's not a bad person,
Right.
but
Yeah.
we're not seeing eye to eye on, my property type or,
Right. My online photos don't show me heavily tattooed, basically. And some clients, they don't like that. So
Sure.
they may work with one of my other agents, and maybe they don't see me,
Yeah.
So, hey,
I was going to say you
sometimes
should
that's
show
better.
them more. Even with, the houses on the market, some of these agents' cameras, right? I'm kind of getting off point here, but,
Oh, yeah.
you get to the house, what you see online is like, wow, that's it. You get to the house and it's.
Well, with the last minute to go here before we wrap up, I think, what's important is if you're going to be working with a team, when you start that connection point, okay, how experienced, what is the experience for the people who are going to be showing me houses? And for the people who are showing me houses, are they the ones who are going to be looking up values and going over conditional questions and location questions and whatnot?
Understanding that team
Right.
model that you are going to be working with is very important.
Right.
There should be a lot of upfront expectations that are set with who you're going to be working with.
Exactly, right. You don't want to be, oh, well, yep, I'm going to help you out. We're going to get this done. We're going to find you the right home. A week later, by the way,
Right.
here's Jimmy. He's going to be showing you houses.
Fresh out of
So,
college.
we got to, take care, everybody. Have a great week. Be safe. We'll be back next week.
Good show.
I didn't mean that as a bad thing, fresh out of college. But
No, no.
you know what I mean.
Okay,
Totally. Young
Gotta
agents
start
have
somewhere.
to start somewhere. That's actually something that I'm looking to hire right now is strictly a showing partner and somebody that is.
Are
young.
you advertising this for our Facebook Live?
Yeah, looking for someone. They have to get their real estate license. They will train under me. I will show them how to do the showings and everything. But it's a good foot in the door,
Right.
for them to learn the business and get the experience. Basically,
Start your career.
exactly. Yeah.
Well, yeah, every agent has to start somewhere, and I personally am 100% with an agent should be starting with a team to build that knowledge level. It's the
Totally.
biggest financial transaction.
You go out as an individual agent and just start trying to do real estate with zero experience.
Oh.
I can't imagine.
Couple
I
months?
literally can't imagine doing that.
Yeah.
Right, you need well, and it's just like throw it to the fire, know. And I know different companies have different training and models.
Yep.
I will say a lot of it. There's a lot of gimmicks out there in some of those big company models. But yeah, I think I love
Those
taking out
big companies.
no names. So yeah, I think I'm where you're at, right?
Yep.
Needing to get somebody to help a little bit more too. As we are getting busier.
Right.
I mean, real estate's crazy.
Right. I mean, where I'm at in real estate, it is not my highest and best use to be out showing properties on a daily basis. It is my highest and best use to be helping negotiate those properties.
100. Yeah, exactly. Well, you can sit there and provide more research time and dedication
Yes.
towards that.
Provide a lot more value doing that.
Yeah, I mean I spend more time researching homes than I do at the home.
Right.
you know,
like the
to-
dentist. You don't want the hygienist doing your
Exactly.
root canal, maybe.
Exactly.
You know, you want the
Totally.
dentist in the back room
Yep.
to come up and do the root canal when
Right.
the hygienist is ready.
When the time is right.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah.
There's a bunch of prep work that happens, and then out comes Mr.
Out
Dentist.
comes
or
Mr.
Mrs.
Dentist. Right,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
You know, I like the term, and this might sound cheesy. I don't know. I use one-stop shop a lot. And
Yeah.
when I talk to people, you know, it's not all about me. I'm going to provide you a service, but I'm also going to connect you with people that are
Right.
just like me or better to provide you that same service
And
level.
that's very important, I think. you
Right.
know.
yeah, I think well, setting that you know, who are the people you're going to be working with? That is important,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
It's fun, too, when you can have that type of service. You know, buying real estate should be fun.
Totally.
Well, I mean, it allows me to, like, let's say I do see a house that my client wants and we want to do something. You know, from the time they see it to the time that offer is going out the door in certain circumstances, we're able to get that offer prepped, ready, out in an hour, 2 hours, right? And you're talking 30 pages of stuff, right?
Right.
That, you know, I see the property, look up the values, do that stuff, and then Dawn's writing the offer as I'm driving back to verify numbers
I've
and
got
whatnot.
I've got
Right.
one that is coming soon right now. It's going active on the market Friday. The first showing is at 4:15. We have that showing booked.
Right.
As soon as we get a few more photos that are listed online, we're going to have a much better idea if we're going to write an offer. One of my agents is going to go show that property.
Right.
I'm going to have the offer already written if it does look like it's the one. And
Right.
we're going to have a letter to those sellers letting them know that, hey, we wanted to be the first in the door because we knew this was going to be the right
You
property.
camped out waiting for tickets.
Seriously, and while they are at the property touring it, if they give me the call and say, yes, this is the one, we're going to submit that offer.
Yep.
Right.
So we are literally going to be the first offer,
Yeah.
the first showing, and it's a really good first move, in my opinion, that we are there, we're ready to go. We wanted to make sure we knew it.
You know, I had an agent one time. This is 6-7 years ago, and I've used this before since that. He says, "Kirk, we were the first ones in the door. We were the first ones to write the offer. So could you give us the courtesy of giving us a counter based no matter what any other offer is?"
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
And I'm like, you know what? Okay.
Yeah.
You know what? You were first in the door. You
Yeah.
were first to write the offer. Why not?
Yeah.
Why not give you the option?
That's
Right.
awesome.
Right?
I love it.
If you don't ask, you
I
don't
think it's
get.
smart. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
gosh.
collaboration. See, that's what
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right. Well, thanks for tuning in. We'll be back next week. You guys got anything else?
Yeah, that's good.
No.
It was a great show.
All right.
Thanks, everybody.
Find me a. Oh, no.